Hello, welcome. 5 p.m. live stream vinyasa yoga starts right now on Instagram and on Zoom. So if you're getting the notification on Instagram, now's a good time to pop over to the Zoom room and sign in and join us. That passcode is 333. Somebody asked me for it. 333 is the passcode. And we are going to get started. Today's class is going to be a heart openers sequence. So a lot of nice chest stretches, back bends, some shoulder stuff. And we're going to start with that right now. So I invite you to find a comfortable seat. We're going to move from this position into a child's pose eventually. So hey, welcome. So if you want to find child's pose in the legs, it might be more comfortable to start there. So either knees spread wide apart or together and toes tucked together underneath you. And from here, we're going to start checking in with the breath, but we're going to start with a little bit of a chest opener right here. So we're going to interlace our hands behind our back, seeing if you can pull them together. It's like you're holding your own hand and maybe pressing the heels of your palms together. If you have all of that, then you're going to start to straighten through the arms. Already, this is a nice shoulder and chest opener. Or if this is too challenging, this is a pose that a lot of folks in a class might use a strap for. If you don't have a strap handy, you can use clothes, kind of pull those back together underneath you. Or you can bend your elbows to see if you can get a little bit of pressure there to help open up the chest. Otherwise, if you've got that grip, you're pressing it up and back, you're puffing up your chest on a nice big inhale here, looking up, and then exhale, come back to center. From here, you're gonna bend your elbows and you're gonna bring that fist or that grip of whatever you have to the right side of your body. So it's like your fist is right by your side. Inhale here, and then exhale to bring your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Inhaling, nice neck stretch here all along the left side. Full breath here, and then exhale, keep sinking into it. If you want to practice with music, now is the time to put on a playlist on your end. Get those volume levels straight. We're going to be cueing this class without music because it gets flagged on Instagram as copyright material. So if you'd like to practice with music, I encourage it. Go ahead and put on a playlist now. It's a good time here. Inhale, nice and long into the left side of that neck. Maybe take a neck roll here. Just check in with those shoulders, with the space between the shoulder blades, with the other side of the neck. This little extra shoulder bind that we're in helps to keep us grounded and also intensify the stretch on the left side, so feel the difference between the two sides. And then inhale to press your fist back behind you. Maybe puff up your chest to look up and maybe even a little bit back on the ceiling. And then exhale, bend the elbows, bring that grip over to the opposite side. Inhale for a long spine, and then exhale, bring left ear over towards left shoulder. So you're pulling that fist forward. My fingers are basically in line with the center of my ribs. Now you might not be that far. If it's too hard to pull that grip forward towards the front of your space, then just you're pressing you're bringing the back of right hand to your left hip, and maybe you're just pressing it there or to your low back, and see how even the hand pressed to the low back helps to get that nice right side stretch here. Trying to pull that left ear over towards the left side. Notice if you tuck your chin down towards your chest, how that changes the point of stretch here. Tucking chin is a little bit more towards the back of the neck versus rotating ear down towards the shoulder and chin back up towards the front of your space is, I find, a more intense front and side neck stretch there. Nice big breath. And then exhale, you can extend that fist backwards towards the back of your space. Inhale to puff up your chest towards the sky. Look up, maybe a little bit back. And here's why we set up those child's pose legs. We're gonna fold over, bringing our forehead down towards the mat into that child's pose position, but keeping the bind in the arms if possible. If you have to loosen it, if you have to bring hands to low back, you're welcome to modify in that way. But we're bringing forehead down to the mat. If you have that grip, maybe you're pressing the backs of hands down to your low back. Maybe you're extending that fist backwards towards the back of the room. If you have that option, you have a chance to go farther with it. You're welcome to punch that fist, that yogi power fist, up towards the top of the room, keeping the forehead down on the mat, and then maybe see how far you can let that fist sink forward towards the front of your space. Trying to do all of that while keeping hips sinking back towards your heels. You're really pressing your forehead into the mat as you let gravity pull that fist forward towards the front of your space in that nice shoulder stretch, getting that nice heart opener. You can stick with that. When you're ready, no rush. Whenever you're ready, hi, welcome. Whenever you're ready, you're gonna eventually release the arms. So we're in this bound forward fold. You're gonna eventually release the arms and come into child's pose. But thanks. But you're gonna do that only when you feel like you've had enough of that shoulder stretch, that shoulder opening. And if you feel like you've gotten to that point, try to take one more breath to extend into the shoulders, to puff up the heart space even more towards the ground, and then release. Take your time there. You might want to take like 10 deep breaths. It might take a little while to open up those shoulders. You might try rocking forehead back and forth on the mat. Inhale to puff up the chest a little more. Exhale to sink the hips back towards the heels. Last caveat for this class, since it is live stream and can't keep track of everyone as well as we would if we were all in the same room, just be super careful as we move into postures. Move slowly with control, because number one, that will build core and muscle and will help advance your practice. But number two, it's much harder to get injured if you move into everything really slowly. And if you feel like you have any pinching in joints, wrists, knees, especially, please shoulders too, but please come out of the pose, take a child's pose, take a break, take a rest whenever, and then meet up with us in the next posture. Everyone's always welcome to send me a message with any questions about any poses that are causing you issue. I'm happy to give modifications and adjustments. So we're in this forward fold. Maybe you still have that grip dropping towards the front of the space. If you have that, now's the time, just let it go. Just super gently let the arms come back down to the mat. Maybe reach the palms forward towards the front of your space. If you have a wide legs child's pose, it's more traditional to reach the arms forward towards the front of the room. If you're in that closed knee child's pose, it's more traditional to reach your arms back towards the back of your space with palms face up. Whichever one feels good, and your arms don't have to be the traditional way, whatever feels good today. We'll start with that. Inhale from here, and then exhale. We're gonna move into Sphinx pose. So you're just gonna rock your shoulders forward, hips come up, and then we're gonna walk elbows a little bit farther forward towards the front of the space, bringing hips down to the mat. And then we want our shoulders above our elbows, our palms pressed down into the mat, the tops of our feet are untucked, pressing down into the mat. And from here, think about rotating your hips down to puff your heart space forward. You're gonna find that you get a little bit deeper into the back stretch there. Inhale, puff up the chest. It's like you're trying to rock your heart up towards the sky, maybe looking up a little bit. Just a nice counter stretch to the child's pose we just did. And then from here, exhale to press hands down into the mat and come into a tabletop position. So we're meeting in this tabletop position. You might want to tuck your toes here. We're going to take some cats and cows. So inhaling to drop the belly, to point the face and the tailbone up towards the sky, and then exhaling to round the spine, coming into a cat pose. Really tuck the tailbone, really drop the weight of the head. Feel how juicy this cat pose feels right after we did that cow and that sphinx back to back. Cow and sphinx are both heart openers. And then we counter stretch that with these cat poses, and it feels even, we're really building that flexibility here in these postures. So take one more cycle of breath, and then meet back in that tabletop position. And then from here, we're gonna inhale, reach right arm forward towards the front of your space, straight forward, thumb up towards the sky. And then from here, inhale to straighten the left leg back towards the back of your space, and then reach it up so heel is in line with hip. Really kicking back through that left leg, really flexing through that lifted left leg. Make sure left shoulder stays above left palm. Inhale to kick and reach. Exhale, rounding back, bringing elbow into knee. Every inhale, we kick and reach, and every exhale, we're rounding, coming into that kind of cat spine, that cross body cat spine. So you can take it on your own, one breath, one movement. Really focus in on the breath here. Nice smooth inhales as you extend, nice strong exhales as you contract. And we're gonna keep going with this. So see where you can move farther into it. Maybe you try to kick your heel towards your bum on the contraction when you roll in. See if you can get your heel a little closer towards the bum. Or as you expand, can you reach farther and higher with the heel and the arm? Take 3 more of these. 2 more. Your breath, your movement, no rush to get there. But you're gonna finish with an extension and a kick and a reach. And then you have an option here to move into a bind, a half bow here. If you like, you're gonna keep your knee up even with your hips, flex the knee, kick the heel up towards the sky, see if you can get it a little higher, and then reach over and back with the right arm, grabbing for the outside of the left ankle. If you don't have the grip, you're still reaching for it. That motion, this balancing pose, as you try to kick your own bum with your left heel and you try to touch your foot with your right fingertips, that's strength building, that's power move. If you have the grip, you're trying to kick with that left leg to open up your shoulder more towards the sky. You're not lifting your leg, you're kicking it back into your fingertips. Take one more breath here to stretch out that right shoulder, and then exhale to kick and reach. And then gently float right hand and left knee back down to the mat. Inhale into a round of cat and cow. Reset the spine. Maybe take a little bit of a figure 8 here in the hips to feel the difference between the 2 sides. And then we're gonna even it out. So left arm just straight forward towards the front of your space. Thumb points straight up. Elbow is straight here. We're not being like a little bit lazy with the arms. The intention and the strength there in the arms is gonna help balance you as we move on. So right leg straightens and right heel flexes a lot. I talk about flexed feet a lot in this class. So there's pointed toes. Everybody knows pointed toes. Flexed foot is when you've got your toes in that 90-degree angle, your ankles in that 90-degree angle, and you're trying to like lift your toes up to touch your shin. It's totally impossible, but that's the idea. And we've been holding this for a little while. It's core and it's balance, but we're gonna exhale, bringing that left elbow into right knee, really rounding the spine, and then inhaling to kick long and reach farther ahead. And then again, on the exhale, rounding the spine. Where can we find ways to move deeper into this posture? Can you tuck your chin in towards the chest? Can you try to pull your forehead in towards your knee? When you expand, can you make sure that your right shoulder stays hovering above your right palm? We've got 3 more of these. And then inhaling 2 more. This is the last one, and then after this, we're gonna inhale to extend and kick. Left hand forward, right leg straight back. Inhale nice and long, and then same thing. You can bend that right knee, point that right heel up towards the sky, and then left arm sweeps over, up and back, grabbing for the outside of right ankle with left hand. So your thumb is pointing up towards the sky. Yeah, looks good. And then from there, make sure that the knee isn't splaying out. We really want that knee to stay nice in line with the spine while you kick back into your fingertips. Big full breath to really open up that left side body, keeping that right foot flexed a lot, holding on to that right ankle. One more breath. See if you can open up the left side shoulder a little bit more. And then exhale, kick and reach. Right knee and left hand come down to the mat. Inhale to puff up your chest into cow pose. Exhale, rounding the spine, coming into cat pose. Stick in this cat for a little while. We've just been doing a bunch of heart openers. And so we're gonna stick with it. See if this adjustment makes a difference for you. Really tuck the tailbone down towards your knees. It's like you're trying to roll yourself into a little ball. Look up at your own belly button. Let the weight of your head drop. See if you can think about getting your mid-spine a little higher up towards the sky. So not your upper back, right below your ribs. See if you can get that part a little higher up towards the sky. And as you inhale nice and full into that mid-spine, and then exhale, come back to neutral. From here, tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog, and pedal up the feet. First downward facing dog of class. Just check in and see how it feels. Another rainy day here, so you might be a little bit, if you're in New England, you might be a little bit stiff from the moisture in the air and from the coldness. It was warm yesterday, and now all of a sudden it's like 20 degrees colder. So just check in, clock it, see if you feel warm or cold in the body. And then we're gonna set up downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, feet are hips width distance. Look back at your feet. It's the width of your head. It's the length of a dollar bill. We're gonna measure it out. Don't move your feet at all. You can bend your knees and walk your palms back towards your feet. We're in a forward fold at the back of the mat. Bring two fists together, bend your knees a lot. Put those fists between the arches of your feet so it looks like a giant letter H. So your fists are right in the middle of your 2 feet. That's hips width distance. Your arches of your feet should hug the outside edges of your fists. Take note if you had to like walk them in or scooch them out. This is hips width distance. Keeping feet exactly where they are. Walk palms out. Pause in an upper push-up plank. Feet are exactly where they were, right? We didn't move them. From here, hands are spread super wide in the mat. Really super wide underneath the shoulders. Shoulders are above the palm of the hand. So kind of above the wrist, a little bit in front. From here, don't move hands or feet. Press back into downward facing dog. That's the length and the width of our downward facing dog. From here, 2 last adjustments. Bend the knees a lot, bring your belly to rest on your thighs. Rotate tailbone up towards the sky. Keep that rotation and that like hyper extension through the spine, that super straight spine, and then start to straighten legs. So long as spine is straight, we don't need straight legs in downward facing dog. We don't need heels to press onto the floor. If you have all that, last adjustment, rotate elbows back towards the back of your space, back towards your knees. Elbow points want to come out towards the sides. When you rotate them back towards your knees, it's going to help us distribute the weight from our body throughout our entire hand, so we're not jamming it into the wrists. And it's also going to light up all those intercostal muscles all along the length of the body. Awesome. Take a deep breath here to clock this posture, to clock this alignment in the body. Take note of how it feels. And then inhale, right leg kicks straight back towards the back of your space, flexing the foot, and then exhaling to point the toe and stack right hip on top of left, making lots of circles with that right knee, starting to warm up through the right side. If you're taking it all one direction, you can even it out and take it in the opposite direction. So if you're going clockwise, go counterclockwise for one breath. And then on your next inhale, kick straight back. Exhale, bend through the knee and try to place the right foot in place of right hand on the mat. You might have to toe heel it up. From here, left knee comes down to the mat, right arm peels up. So we're in a low lunge twist. So right knee is forward, right arm is reaching up towards the sky, back knee is down. We're looking up and over right shoulder here, trying to bring right heart closer towards right thigh. Inhale for a full breath to look up and over that lifted shoulder, and then exhale, right hand comes down outside of right foot. Inhale to lift back, heel up off the mat, puff up your chest forward towards the front of the space, and exhale, left foot meets right at the top of the mat. Check that hips width distance again. You can check it here too, forward fold, hips width distance. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, biceps by the ears, looking up, maybe even a little bit back. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, that half lift, flat back again. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back, pause, upward push up plank. We're gonna build what we call the flow. It's a series of postures that's gonna get us back to downward facing dog. So we're here on this plank and we're holding it because it's a little bit of core work. It's warming us up. And then from here, we're gonna move into option one. It's gonna be caterpillar baby cobra. So caterpillar pose first, knees, chest, and chin come down to the ground, bum points up towards the sky. And then when we inhale, we pull forward towards the front of our space, coming into baby cobra pose. So hips come down to the mat, tops of the feet press down to the mat, and we're using the inhale of puffing our chest forward towards the front of our space to lift the chest up off the ground. So we're not putting any pressure into our hands here. It's a chest opener, it's a heart opener. We're in it. You're trying to inhale to puff up your chest even a little bit higher. You can even float our hands up off the mat, and then exhale to press the palms down, press over bent knees, meet back in downward facing dog. From here, inhale, left leg kicks straight back towards the back of the space. And then as you exhale, point the toe, stack left hip on top of right, and move through those circles, those big old circles. You can make them even bigger. See if you can get your left toes outside the periphery of your vision here. When you look up and under your left armpit, see if you can follow your left toes, and then eventually they'll go out of sight. You can reach them so high. If you've been going all one way, take it the opposite direction. And then from here, inhale, left leg long. Exhale, trying to replace left hand with left foot on the mat. And if it doesn't get up there, you just walk it up a little farther. We're bringing right knee down to the mat. Left arm peels up. We're in that side twist, left side, yep. So we're trying to bring right shoulder, bottom shoulder, closer towards left knee. So you might be pressing into the palm of your right hand on the mat to twist a little deeper. You might be thinking about that twist starting from beneath the navel to get a little bit, an extra inch of rotation. You might be looking up over lifted left shoulder. Take another breath here to look up and over, and then exhale, left fingertips come to the outside of left foot. Tuck back toes, inhale to puff up your chest towards the front of your space. Exhale, right foot meets left. Forward fold with that hips width distance. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Engage to the abs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Mountain pose, biceps by the ears, looking up, maybe even a little bit back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step right foot back, and then left. Pause in that upper push-up plank. You're welcome to stick with that caterpillar option if you like. Otherwise, I welcome you to take a lower push-up plank or a chaturanga. So we're gonna come down halfway. Elbows are gonna hug the ribs. They're really like pressing into the sides of my body. I'm coming down 90 degrees, not farther, not less. Exactly 90 degrees, looking forward towards the front of the space, and then inhaling to press the heart forward towards the front of the room, pressing the tops of the feet
so much so into the mat that our knees float up off of the ground. So you're really pressing the heart forward towards the front of your room. Check and see if it feels like you're dumping weight into your wrists. If it feels like that, it's because you're not pressing into your fingers as much as you should be. This posture, a lot of people are just pressing up and out of the wrists. You're really gripping with the fingers and dragging the mat back, dragging your heart space forward towards the front of the room, maybe thinking about tucking the tailbone a little bit to open up that quad area, and then exhale, back forward fold. Inhale, right leg reaches back towards the back of the space. Exhale, drag right knee in towards forehead. Hover it there for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to kick it back. Exhale, bring that knee in towards the forehead, and then as silently as possible, we're trying to step that right foot in place of right hand. From here, back heel rotates down, rise up, warrior one, right side. Warrior one, right side. First standing posture of class. The goal of all these warrior ones is to square hips forward towards the front of your space while staying low in that front lunge. Arms stay lifted, yep. Reaching arms up towards the sky. Pinkies might rotate in a little bit towards your face to open up shoulders. So arms are super straight, but it's that rotation in of the pinkies to open up the heart space here. Sinking low in the lunge, puffing up the chest, looking forward, maybe even a little bit up. Sticking with that, reach the arms back towards the back of the room like airplane wings. And again, we're going for that yogi power fist. We're trying to interlace hands behind the back. If you had to use a strap before or clothing before, now's a good time to grab whatever your prop situation is. Get it set up somewhere near your mat. Grab it now for this posture. If you've got that fist, you're trying to punch it back towards the back of the room, maybe even bringing the heels of your hands together. So it's this idea, it's the difference between this and this, right? If you've got that, you're puffing up your heart towards the sky. You're dropping that fist back towards the back of the space. And then exhale to fold forward, coming into devotional warrior, dropping the head and the shoulders inside that right knee. The weight of the head, you can shake it yes, shake it no. Let that fist drag forward towards the front of the space and then down. And then check on the alignment of the hips. Our hips bumping over towards the left side because it's easier. See if you can keep negotiating them back square towards the front of your space for one more breath. And then exhale, unravel, release the hands, puff up your chest, look up towards the sky, warrior one. And then exhale, plant the hands inside right foot. Exhale, right foot back, pause, upper push-up plank. We're in this upper push-up plank, and now you have those two options. You're welcome to take that caterpillar flow with knees down. You're welcome to take that lower push-up plank with knees up, or you can take a combination, bringing knees down to bring elbows in by your ribs to build that alignment here, and then inhale to puff up your chest towards the front of the space. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog. You can pedal up the feet for one breath here. That's a modified option. You're always welcome to bring knees down. We're gonna be doing some other, spoiler alert, push-up stuff today later on. So if you find that knees down makes it like 1,000 times less painful, do knees down. Inhaling left leg towards the back of the space. Exhale, left knee comes in towards the forehead. We hover it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, kick left leg back. Exhale, left foot replaces left hand on the mat. Right heel rotates down. We rise up, warrior one, left side. And again, we're staying nice and low in that left knee. Hips are gonna wanna naturally open up towards the right side of the space. We're trying to keep steering them back towards the front of the room. That's gonna force you to engage, to straighten through that back right leg. If you can pull up on the inside arch of that back foot, it's gonna help you square even fuller towards the front of the space. Arms reach up towards the sky, maybe rotating pinkies in just a little bit, sitting low in the lunge. And then exhale, arms back towards the back of your space. Trying to go for the opposite grip this time. So if left thumb was on top last time, maybe make it right, switch it. Inhale to punch that yogi fist, or if it's a strap, whatever you have, yeah, back towards the back of your space. You can even do this without the grip. So if it's too hard, you can just do arms backwards as you fold forward, coming into that devotional warrior. You just keep those arms behind you. You still get that extra oomph of having that weight help you negotiate gravity more towards the ground here. Whatever version you have, you can let the weight of the head come down inside of the left thigh, continuing to square hips forward towards the front of your space, and then on your next inhale, whenever that comes, pressing back up into warrior one, releasing the arms, exhaling to sit into the lunge, and then inhaling to puff up the chest to look up, maybe a little bit back. Exhale, plant the palms inside of left foot, kick that left foot back. And there's a fourth option for the flow. It's always available. It's just a child's pose. You can bend knees, sit the hips back onto feet, onto heels, bring your forehead down to the mat, and take a little break whenever you feel like your breath is getting choppy or held, or you just need a little breather. You're always welcome to take a child's pose and then meet us back in downward facing dog or whatever posture we're in when you're ready to move again. Inhale, right leg kicks back towards the back of the space. Exhale, right knee comes in towards the forehead. We hover it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to kick that right foot back. Exhale, plant that right foot in place of right hand. Left knee comes down to the ground. Right arm peels up towards the sky. We're in this low lunge. We've been here before. Inhale here, and then exhale, reaching that right arm back towards the back of the space, maybe bending through that left knee to grab for the outside edge of left foot with right hand. So it's a little bit of a quad stretch here, and you're always welcome to come farther into it by bringing an elbow down to the mat or by rolling hips farther forward. Got a little bit of a squat stretch. If this is too challenging, you might want to just stick with this twist, or maybe just the motion of reaching back towards your left heel will help. Or if you don't have the grip, but it feels good to bend your knee, you're always welcome to keep reaching for it. Keep pulling that right shoulder open, peeling it open to get a little bit of the grip. If you do have a strap, this is an amazing pose to loop your foot in the strap and hold the strap here. One more breath, and then exhale, release, bring right fingertips down to the mat, tuck back toes, coming into a high lunge, lifting up, big full inhale to puff up the chest, and then exhale, left arm comes forward towards the front of your space. Before we move farther into this, make sure everyone 90-degree angle in that front leg, back leg super straight. Back left heel above the ball of left foot. Back left glute, back left bum really engaged, right? So we've got left arm reaching forward, and now right arm is gonna reach back. So we're in a twist on the right side. So right leg is forward, but right arm is back. We're looking up past right shoulder. So we're looking over our shoulder towards the back of the room. Inhale here, and then maybe exhale to rotate back, to tilt back. See if you can bring right fingertips to the outside of left leg. Really moving deeper into this twist, looking over that right shoulder the entire time. Take one more breath here, and then exhale, come back up. Inhale, twist forward, biceps by the ears. Inhale to peel up the chest towards the sky. Maybe cactus the arms to get a little bit of a shoulder opening here. And then exhale, palms press down into the mat, right leg kicks back, move through a flow. Whichever option you prefer. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And from here, inhale, left leg kicks straight up off the mat. Exhale, left knee comes in towards the forehead. We hover it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, left foot replaces left hand on the mat. Right knee comes down. Left arm peels up. We're in this early twist. It's gonna end up, it's prep work for that standing lunge twist we're about to do here, right? So if you're having trouble with that, on the other side, this is where you build that foundation. Maybe walking right fingertips closer towards left foot, trying to touch that right shoulder to left knee. Maybe thinking about that twist starting from beneath your navel, looking up over lifted shoulder, and then exhale, left hand comes back towards the back of your space. Right knee might bend, grabbing for the outside of right ankle. And again, this is a posture that you might need padding underneath your knee to get to. It helps to take the pressure off the knee if you walk your hands forward towards the front of the space. If you have the grip, you roll kind of onto the top of your quad and puff the chest forward, it gets deeper into the stretch and it takes the pressure off of directly onto your kneecap. Again, if you want to use the strap here, you're welcome to, or come up out of it. Stay in that low lunge twist for a little longer. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. And then exhale to release the grip. Left fingertips come to the outside of left foot. Tuck the back toes. Right knee lifts. Inhale up. High lunge, left side. Awesome. So you're going to see, we're going to make all the adjustments. So we're going to come down 90-degree angle in that front leg. Left knee right above left ankle. You should be able to see a sliver of the left big toe on the inside of that left leg. From there, back leg super straight. Really extend through that back leg. Really engage through that right bum. See how that squares the hips more towards the front of the space. Awesome. And then from there, check on your back heel. See if it's sinking back towards the back of your space. You want to really pull that right heel up over the ball of your foot. To keep it nice and engaged. Big full breath here, and then exhale, right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Looking over left shoulder, staying low in the lunge, staying straight through that back leg, maybe tilting backwards, bringing left fingertips to the outside of right leg, looking down, seeing if you can see your own heel, challenging balance. Sometimes you wobble. That's all part of balancing postures. 1 more breath. And then exhale, come back forward. Inhale, puff up your chest, maybe cactusing the arms. And then exhale, plant the palms inside of left foot, step that left foot back, and move through whichever version of the flow you prefer, meaning back in downward facing dog. And from here, right leg reaches up off of the mat. Exhale, right knee in towards the forehead. See if you can kick your own bum with your right heel. Inhale, kick that right leg back. Exhale, right foot replaces right hand. Back heel rotates down. Rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, arms back. Interlace the palms. Puff up the fist. On your exhale, you fold forward. Coming into that devotional warrior. We were here before, right? Inhaling up and releasing the arms, coming back into warrior 1. And then from here, we exhale to peel open into warrior 2. Warrior 2 stance a little bit longer, hips now square towards the left side of the space, looking over right shoulder, front shoulder, looking over right fingertips. Sinking low in the lunge. We're gonna move from here into half moon pose. So there's 2 ways into it. There's what I call the experienced way, and there's the newbie way. So if you've never done this before, if you don't know what half moon is, hold off. If you know what half moon is, you're gonna reach forward, come onto the tippy toes of your left foot and tilt forward, coming into half moon with right fingertips outside of front right foot, stacking left arm on top of right, flexing left foot a lot, straight through that left leg, puffing up your chest towards the side wall. The other way to come into it, we're in this warrior 2, is to just step your left foot towards the top of your mat, bend down, set up that right hand, So maybe you want some sort of block or aid, whatever it is, or maybe you got your hands on the ground, whatever. You can bend through that standing leg a little bit, but lifted leg has to stay super straight. Super straight, that's gonna help with the balance. And then you're trying to stack your left hip on top of your right. So hips are square towards the left side of your space, right? That was confusing. Towards the left side of your space, correct? Lifting left arm towards the sky, continuing to try to float left arm right above right shoulder for one more breath. And then exhale, left foot comes down to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Step one foot back and then the other. We move through a flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Evening that out on the left side. Inhale, left leg kicks straight back. Exhale, replacing left hand on the mat with left foot. Inhale, rise up. Warrior one. Exhale, arms reach back towards the back of your space. Switch the grip again. Inhale to punch that yogi fist towards the back of your space and open up your heart. And then exhale, fold forward into that devotional warrior left side. When your inhale comes, we come right back up. We've been here before, releasing arms on an inhale to puff up the chest. And then exhale, peeling open, warrior two, left side. So from here, again, nice and low in that left side lunge, looking over left fingertips. So in Sanskrit, the term is drishti. Drishti is this idea of like a soft, unfocused gaze. It's the direction you're looking, and you're not like staring down the yoga teacher because you're like dying for her to get you out of this lunge. You're really just trying to relax the muscles of your face, of your eyes, just sort of soften that focus over your left fingertips. And then from here, we're moving into half moon. Either way, so either you're stepping right foot up towards the front of your space, folding forward and setting up left fingertips this time, coming into that half moon. Or if you want to try that challenging tilt, you're tilting forward, forward, forward with left fingertips, coming onto the tippy toes of your right foot, maybe taking a little hop in to make it a little bit easier, and then lifting through that right leg. Again, keeping a super straight lifted leg matters a lot to help with balance. Keeping a little bend in your standing leg, in this case the left one on the left side, is totally fine. You're taking one more breath here to come a little farther into the posture, maybe extending higher up, maybe stacking hips even a little bit more on top of each other, and then exhaling to fold down, coming into that forward fold at the top of the mat. Maybe checking in on hips width distance, you're always welcome to. And then from here, inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step one foot back, and then the other, move through a flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And we've got one more of those on each side. You can do it. Inhale, right leg kicks straight back. Exhale, bring that right knee in towards the nose. Hover it. See if you can get that heel up a little higher. See if you can round that spine a little more. Inhale, right leg kicks back. Exhale, right foot replaces right hand. Back heel rotates down. Inhale, rise up. Warrior one, left side. Exhale, arms reach back into that yogi fist. Inhale to puff up your chest, to punch that fist backwards, and then exhale to fold down into that devotional warrior right side. Inhale to puff up the chest, coming back into that warrior one right side. Exhale, peel open, warrior two left side. Now you know where we're going. We're going to that half moon. So however you want to get there, you'll meet us there. And we've got some options. We're going to take half moon a little bit farther. So if you figured out your half moon and you feel like you're in a good place with it, you can challenge balance by doing any of the following things. Maybe first making sure that if you challenge balance, you know what sharp things are around you in the room, right? So that's number one. But number two, maybe looking up over lifted shoulder, see how that feels. Or maybe lifting bottom hand up off of the ground to bring it to rest on your heart. See how that challenges balance. or maybe bending lifted leg to grab for left ankle behind your bum, coming into what's called a sugar cane pose. It's a lot of hamstring flexibility there. Take one more breath, and then we're gonna move from here into standing splits. So if you have a bind, you're releasing it, you're bringing both hands down to the mat. You're squaring hips down towards the ground, but you're keeping that left leg lifted a lot. So left leg remains straight. Standing leg can have that bend into it. You might bring your hands up to makeshift blocks to come a little higher up, but you're trying to bring your heart towards your shin. If you've got that balance and it feels pretty good, maybe fingertips walk back in line with your right toes on the mat. Maybe one hand comes behind your ankle, maybe both. For one more breath, see if you can drag your lifted heel up a little bit higher. And then exhale, bring fingertips back down to the mat. Bend that left knee, hug that left knee in towards your chest. This is called flamingo pose. I love this one. This is a little transitional pose. We're gonna inhale to come up into standing with that left knee staying bent. You might need to take a little break here. It's a lot on one side, so maybe bring the other foot down to the mat, but we're moving into dancer's pose. So we've got that left knee bent, left heel is kicking towards the bum. We've been practicing this bum kick all day today, right? So left hand is gonna come straight out towards the left side, palm face up, like you're holding a giant tray of food. And then from here, right arm reaches up, like you're about to high five someone, super high. And then we're gonna reach back for the inside of our left foot with our left hand. So take a second, if you're not familiar with dancer, make sure you have the grip right. Your hand is on the inside of your ankle. Your thumb is pointing down towards your big toe mound. You're reaching up with right hand like you're about to high five someone, and then exhale to kick, left foot back towards the back of your space. Find something that's not moving to focus on. And we're not leaning forward, we're kicking with our lifted left leg, which is causing us to pivot forward towards the front of the room. Lifted foot can either be flexed or have a pointed toe here. I like flexed, it's just safer for the knees. And then we're continuing to try to square the hips forward and down for one more breath, and then exhale, tilt back up. Inhale, arms up towards the sky, maybe even a little bit of a back bend, maybe cactusing arms out as we come down, forward fold, toe heel, feet out, hips width distance, bend the knees a lot. Take the two-piece fingers around your big toe into a yogi toe lock, also known as a togi. You bend your knees a lot, you've got that grip, and then you exhale to start to straighten legs up towards the sky, letting the weight of your head drop. Shake it yes, shake it no. If you've got straight legs, then maybe you start to bend elbows out towards the sides. I always say elbows out towards the sides and not back, because elbows back makes you tense your the muscles around your neck. You kind of end up scrunching up your shoulders by your ears, but if you open up the elbows towards the sides, you're gonna find that you get a little bit of relief in that shoulder area, and you can focus the stretch into the hamstrings. Take one more breath here, and then exhale, release, plant the palms, step the feet back, and move through a flow. We're just gonna balance that out on the left side, and then we're gonna slow it down. So inhale, left leg kicks straight back towards the back of your space. Exhale, last one of these, pull that left knee in towards your forehead, hover it there, see if you can get your left heel a little higher up towards your bum, and then exhale to kick it back. Inhale, and then as you exhale, you're replacing left foot in place of left hand on the mat, rising up, warrior one, left side, exhaling arms straight backwards, interlacing the fists to puff up the chest towards the sky. Exhaling to tilt down and forward into devotional warrior towards the front of the room. And then inhaling to peel back up, warrior one. Exhale, peel open, warrior two. Looking over those front fingertips. Now we're moving into that half moon left side again. So you're welcome to try to tilt or the step and set up. Either way, you're finding us in that half moon pose. So fingertips are on the ground or on a block. You're not using your hand to hold you up. You're just using that left hand, that bottom hand, for a little bit of stability. And we're constantly trying to get our right hip more over and open towards the right side of the room in this case. And right shoulder right above left. Keeping that lifted leg engaged, but pressing through all the corners of your standing foot. Really think about pressing into that standing foot to get a little bit farther into this half moon. Maybe you want to challenge the gaze looking up. Maybe you want to bend that lifted knee to grab for that sugarcane pose, grabbing for right ankle with right hand. It's a nice prep if you have it for this dancer's pose we're about to go in. It's that same quad stretch. Take one more breath, and then we're going to transition from wherever you are in half moon into standing splits. So lifted leg kicks straight back, top fingertips come down to the ground, both hands are on the mat. You want to keep that lifted leg straight, and you can have a bend in that standing leg if you like, but we're trying to square hips down towards the ground. It's going to be hard to do because hips are going to want to buck open towards the right side. If you have all of that, maybe you're moving farther into the posture by walking fingertips back in line with left toes or interlacing them around your standing ankle, your left ankle. Take one more full breath to sink your heart closer towards your shin. And then from here, release the hands back to the mat. If they were up, come into that flamingo pose. So right knee bends, right knee meets left, but right heel keeps kicking in towards your bum. And then we're going to start to tilt up, coming into that standing posture to set up that dancer pose. I'm trying to get it so my head's not clomped off like a psychopath. Like a decapitated dancer. So you've got that right knee bent, right heel is flexing towards your bum. You've got right palm up towards the sky, right elbow in towards right hip. Like you're serving that giant pizza pie. Left arm reaches straight up, and then we're grabbing for the inside of right ankle with right hand. From here, inhale to puff up the chest, and exhale, just kick with the leg. Don't lean. Find something that's not moving to focus on, and slowly and steadily kick back towards the back of your space to come down into that dancer's pose. We're really inhaling to come a little bit farther and exhaling to kick a little bit more. Trying to continue to square hips down towards the ground. One more breath here, and then slowly with control, tilting back up and out of it. Inhaling, arms up towards the sky, looking up, puffing up the chest, and then exhaling into that forward fold. And from here, we've got one more of those heart openers. So we're gonna interlace hands at the base of our lower back, and then we're gonna punch up that yogi fist towards the sky, and then maybe letting it sink down towards the front of our space. You might wanna bend your knees a lot here. Bring the belly to rest on the thighs. Let the weight of the fist drag itself forward towards the front of the room. Get that rotation, and then start to straighten legs. See how it gets even a little bit farther into that shoulder stretch than you might have normally. And then if you'd like to play with it a little bit, you're welcome to bend one knee and then the other. Taking your time, swaying back and forth. Take like 2 more cycles of breath. And then we're gonna slowly release the arms, planting the palms down onto the mat. Step the feet back into an upper push-up plank position. Pause here. We're gonna do 3 yogi push-ups. So this is your opportunity to bring knees down if you'd like. Otherwise, we're gonna inhale to push up and out of all the corners of our hands, come down halfway and hover. And then eventually inhale, push back up. And then exhale, come back down and hover. Elbows really pressing into your ribs, straight back towards the back of your space, and then press up and out of it. 1 more here. Exhale, come halfway down. Hover it there. I know you might be shaking a little bit. That's good. We're building muscle. And then push back up. Woo! And then last one. Here we go. We're just coming down, straight down to the mat. On a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest comes down. Hips come down. Toes can untuck. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Bring your arms straight alongside the body. Palms face up. Feel your heartbeat on the mat here. Inhale, nourish that heartbeat with lots of good energy from the space around you. And then exhale to let go of anything you don't need right now. Any like chore you have to do in 10 minutes or whatever, let it all go. And then inhale to puff up your chest, to look forward towards the front of your space, to reach backwards with your arms and your toes. So much so, you're kicking back and you're reaching back so much so that your heart space starts to peel up off of the mat, so that your legs start to lift up off of the mat. You're really reaching backwards, you're engaging through the glutes, you're engaging, trying to knit your shoulder blades closer together behind your back. Try to inhale 1 more inch of thigh up off of the mat, get a little bit taller, and then exhale, release. Bring left cheek down to the mat. Bring left ear down to the mat. Let all the tension come out of your shoulders. Let them rest and rock down on either side of your body. You might bring your elbows out a little wider to either side of you to get even a deeper shoulder stretch here. A little bit more of an opening through the shoulder blades. And then inhale, forehead back down on the mat. Arms reach forward towards the front of your space. And then from here, inhaling, it's like superhuman pose, we call it. We're reaching forward with our fingertips. We're kicking back with our legs. We're looking forward. We're reaching for something, like something you really, really want. If you could just grab it, you would have it. Like the end of quarantine, or like something delicious you want to eat, or somebody you're really excited to talk to or hug. See if you can reach a little bit farther for it. See if you can get a little bit higher. Inhaling and exhaling nice and smooth. And then pausing here. See if you can get just your right arm a little higher. And then just your left leg a little higher. And then can your left arm reach your right? And then can your right leg reach your leg? And then from there, inhale once more. And then exhale, release. Right ear comes down to the mat this time. Right cheek rests on the ground. See how quickly you can go from 100% work to 100% rest. You can feel yourself breathing into the mat. We have 1 more of those. So we're gonna bend our knees, heels are gonna come in towards our bum. We're gonna reach back for our ankles. Keep the feet flexed here and keep the knees in close to each other. Instagram people, we're gonna butt up against the time limit. So if all of a sudden you don't hear me, it means to gently, gently, gently come out of this posture. So we're gonna kick to come into it, and we're gonna kick to come out of it. So inhale to really kick, kick, kick. Peel your chest up off of the mat with the strength of your kick, and engage through the bum. Try to keep your knees knitted together. Take a few more breaths to keep kicking into that position. See if you can peel 1 more rib up off of the mat. See if you can kick a little higher. I'm gonna pause this video. We're gonna come back in 1 second on the new live stream. Sorry for the inconvenience, but exhale to come slowly out of it. Take a second to rest on your mat. So we're in that bow pose. If you're watching this tomorrow, then you're taking like 3 or 4 more breaths to kick into it, to keep peeling heart open, to keep knitting shoulder blades closer together behind you, to keep the knees hugging in towards each other, flexing the feet, puffing up the chest, engaging through the glutes, seeing if you can rock the weight a little farther back onto your hips to look up a little bit higher towards the sky for 1 more breath, and then exhale, release. You can bring whichever is your favorite cheek down to the mat. Amazing work. Those are super strong postures, super intense heart openers and back bends. So thank yourself for doing that work. Maybe take a little bit of a release onto the mat. Let your heart melt down into it. And then exhale. Leave your forehead down to the mat. Bring your palms by under your shoulders and press up. We're going to come back into that Sphinx pose that we did earlier in class. So you're going to walk your elbows up towards the front of your space, underneath your shoulders. And you're going to puff your heart forward towards the front of the room. It's like you're pressing the weight into your elbows and your forearms, and you're trying to like use that tension to rock your heart forward towards the front of the space. It's the same exact idea as when we do upward facing dog. This time we have our forearms onto the mat, and you might find it a little easier to tug your heart more forward towards the front of the room. We do the same thing when we're in that upward facing dog, and our palms are pressed down to the mat. You're really trying to drag your heart forward towards the front of the room. You might be able to see my yoga mat moves. You're pulling so much towards the front. Then from here, inhale, we're moving back into a child's pose, and you can take whichever version of the child's pose you prefer. So either knees together, coming into that half tortoise child's pose, or knees out wide, more towards the width of your mat. Take a quick child's pose here. Inhale to expand your lungs in all directions. Really send that juicy energy into all different corners of your body. And then exhale, walk palms underneath shoulders. Rock your shoulders back up above your hips. And then kick the feet out in front. We're gonna move into a forward fold. So you're flexing your toes a lot, a lot, a lot. You're inhaling to reach your arms up towards the sky, and then we're exhaling to roll forward. And today I encourage you to take both options in forward fold. So I talk about this a lot. There's 2 options. One is to keep a straight back the entire time, and then the other is to tuck your chin and to try to think about it as if the top of your head is trying to roll down onto your thighs. They're both equally good. They just get to different parts of the back, and we've been stretching all parts of the back today a lot. So if you're starting, I encourage you to start with the tucked in chin and the top of your head rolling down. So you might come into this child's pose with bent knees, grabbing for the outsides of your legs. Then you might start to walk your heels more towards the front of your space. In a yoga class, you would have a strap. Maybe you put the strap there and straighten your legs. We don't have that. So wherever you are, then you're just tucking your chin. I'm gonna release this arm so you can see the idea. Tucking the chin, and it's like you're trying to roll the top of your head down towards the ground. It's hard to do that. It doesn't really get there, I don't think. And so you have that feeling, and you're gonna feel all in your mid-back, all in the space between your shoulder blades, and expansion there. And then you might continue to move deeper into the posture. You might try to tuck even more in towards your body. Trying to release any tension from the shoulders here.
trying to melt it down and away. Taking like 3 more deep breaths. And then after the third, you're welcome to set up the other version of the forward fold. Hi, welcome back. Sorry for the interruption. So we're starting with the bent legs and we're grabbing for the outsides of the feet. And this time we're keeping a straight spine, not the rounded spine. So straight spines, and then start to straighten legs, trying to keep that straight spine. So if you can't keep the straight spine, then you're coming out of the posture. You're bending the legs a little bit to make sure you can keep that alignment. Take a nice deep breath and then move farther into it. You're gonna find that your low back is where you feel the stretch and the opening now. Tucking the chin a little bit. If you have 2 straight legs and you have a grip on your toes, you're bending elbows out towards the sides. Again, continuously trying to keep those shoulders relaxed and easy, finding ease wherever we can so we can focus the effort on the part of the body that we're trying to stretch or to strengthen in each of these postures, right? So from here, shoulders can have all of the ease, and we're inhaling to puff up our heart space to focus that stretch in the low back and in the hamstrings. Take 1 more breath here, and then exhale, unravel. We're gonna set up, we've got a little bit of time for a bridge pose. So we're gonna take 3 bridges actually. The third one can be a wheel if you like, but the first 2 are gonna be bridges. So we're setting it up, you're gonna roll down onto your back. You're gonna walk your heels in close to your bum. So knees point up towards the sky, nice and close together. We don't want them wide out towards the sides. We want them nice and close together. And then you can bring your arms nice and long along the length of your body, palms face down. In this posture, you want to keep your chin pointed up towards the sky. You don't want to look left to right. So if you want to watch the video and then join us, you're welcome to. We have 3 of these, there's plenty of time. You've got your heels in so close to your bum that you can touch them with your fingertips. If not, walk them in closer. And then from here, we're exhaling to press down into our heels. We're not lifting our hips, we're pressing down into our feet, so much so that our hips are forced to lift up off of the mat. Once you have that, once you're pressing into your heels, into the balls of your feet, evenly trying to keep that even press, check in on your knees. Are they starting to splay outwards? Drag them back in towards each other, and then really engage through the glutes to lift your hips even a little higher, to puff up your chest a little more towards the sky. Inhale once more, and then slowly with control, we're unraveling, tucking the chin to come down. Hips come down to the mat, maybe rocking hips side to side. You can windshield wiper the knees. Just release any tension from the low back. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees back up towards the sky. Heels can press down. Make sure you can touch your heels still with your fingertips. Press down, and then from here, pressing down causes your hips to lift up off of the mat. Again, tugging knees in closer together, engaging through the glutes, puffing up heart space. If that all feels good, maybe interlacing hands underneath you, underneath your bum, to drag the heels of your hands together, to walk your shoulder blades closer together underneath you, puffing up the heart space even more. Check and make sure your heart isn't pressing into your chin. If it is, you need to elongate your neck a little bit more. Really see if you can get 1 inch higher through your hips by pressing into the feet, and then exhale slowly with control, releasing, unraveling, bringing hips down towards the mat. Once more, take that windshield wiper a little break if you like. And then you've got a third wheel, or you've got upward facing bow, or wheel, whichever third bridge, or you've got wheel as an option.
here. If you're not familiar with wheel, hold off on it. I'm going to do a wheel focused class or a little bit of a wheel workshop in a later class this week. I'll put it on the story for those of you guys who are on the Instagram. Stick with the bridge for today. Otherwise, if a wheel is in your practice, just a couple of quick reminder alignment options. Again, heel or bridge both times, wheel or bridge both times your heels are coming in towards your bum. You should be able to touch them. Bridge, arms stay long. Wheel, arms bend. Fingertips point down towards the shoulders. Elbows are pointing straight up towards the sky. Palms are spread nice and wide into the mat. And then you're inhaling again to push into the balls of your feet, into the heels of your feet, to push into your palms to cause you to lift up off of the mat. Again, we're engaging through the glutes to get a little higher and taller. We're keeping knees close together underneath us. Maybe we're extending through the neck to look up and down towards the ground in this case. Inhale to see if you can rock your hips a little farther forward towards the front of the room. And then when we come out of this posture, we do it slowly, gently, with control, tucking the chin and bringing your upper body back down to the mat. Inhale to hug your knees in towards your chest. Pull yourself into a little ball. Bring your forehead in towards your knees. Rock backwards and forwards, side to side. A little bit on the low back, a little lower body back massage. I have a yoga teacher who calls this the poor man's back massage. And then I have another yoga teacher who I love who calls this the single person's back massage. They're both true. You don't have to pay someone and you don't have to date someone to have this lower back massage. Such a nice bonus. Back and forth a little bit more. And then from here, head comes back down to the mat and you can take a butterfly pose. So the heels of your feet come together, press into each other, and then you clasp around the outsides of your feet and hug that grip down towards your heart space. Maybe negotiating your legs out wider by tucking your elbows inside your legs and pushing them out towards the sides. Yeah, nice hip opener here. Hugging your heels not down towards your face, down towards your heart. Not down towards your crotch, towards your heart. You're really trying to get those heels to touch your heart. Someday we get there. Take one more breath and then exhale to peel open into happy baby, grabbing for the outsides of the feet, hugging your knees in towards your armpits, really kicking up towards the sky with your heels, but dragging heels down towards the ground with your arms. You've got 4 more breaths to seal out your practice, so you might want to rock side to side in this happy baby. You might want to extend one leg and then the other, or maybe extend both legs. Take the last few breaths here to finish out with anything else that might feel good. And then we're going to release the grip and extend legs nice and long, setting up for Savasana, so heels come out super wide, the width of your mat, toes can flop open, arms extend nice and long, palms face up. I invite you to take a couple of additional alignment adjustments, especially based on today's heart opening and back bending class. So even here in this reclined posture, maybe think about tucking your tailbone under to bring the contact of your low back down to the mat. Maybe think about tucking your chin a little bit to bring that contact of that chin in towards the heart and elongate through the backside of the body, through the backside of the spine and neck area. And then from there, you might want to tuck shoulder blades a little together, a little closer together underneath you. And then close the eyes. I say this a lot, but Savasana is the only posture in yoga that requires you to close your eyes to be considered in the posture. So please do close your eyes, bring the focus inward,
to yourself as you take these last few breaths of our shared practice, inhaling and really feeling that sweet energy, that sweet air coming in through your nose, all the way down your throat, into your lungs, expanding and really nourishing you from the inside outward through your bloodstream as that oxygen gets circulated throughout the rest of your body. Let it focus on any place that you might need a little bit of extra attention there, any tension that you have. Let it float down and away. Let it melt down. Take a few more breaths here to really melt down in this Savasana. Another sweet breath comes in and cools you down as it fills up your lungs. And then exhale to rinse out any last energy, any last tension. Thank you for tuning in to Zoom and Instagram and wherever to share this practice today. We'll be back again tomorrow at 5 p.m. with another live stream yoga class. And I'm going to let you have the rest of your Savasana to yourself. I encourage you to take a nice long one. Your space and your time are your own. So give yourself a little bit extra compassion right here in this moment if you can. And then drink a lot of water to make up for all this sweating and deep stretching we've been doing. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.